Well, a dame is something different to lots of different people. To me, a dame is a character that can lampoon um, female behaviour and female conduct, but should still clearly be a man. I want children to know that I'm a man and know that that's the reason I'm funny, but be able to trust that as a mother figure, if they were to fall over in the playground, then they could come to me for help and I would look after them. To create that duality of the character, to be a man and to be a woman at the same time, and to have every member of the audience feel comfortable to laugh at you, to have women recognise themselves in you, to have men be able to laugh at you as a type of person that as a man they'd find uncomfortable interacting with, and to have children laugh at you because you're just simply funny. So I suppose a dame is a figure of fun that you can trust, and you're this big character on stage, and you kind of, I mean, it's going to sound quite arrogant, but you kind of galvanise proceedings once you're on stage, because you can't be missed. Some of these dames are 6 foot tall, and then they'll be wearing dresses which make them 3 foot wide, wigs that make them 7 feet tall. So it's impossible for the dame not to be at the centre of the action. I think I have a person who I'd like to think influenced my pantomime dame, who is Jack Tripp. He doesn't wear much makeup, and he's fey rather than camp. But I wear a lot of makeup because I don't quite have a craggy face yet. I can't get away with not wearing it because I look a little bit weird dressed as a woman otherwise. But Jack Tripp is the person that I aspire to be. That's when I watch footage of him, I think that's the dame I want to be, because he made it look effortless and there was no fuss about him. He was quite simple but still had this enormous character which I really admire. The key thing is to get on stage, deliver your gags and get off, because your instinct once you're on stage is to lap it all up and actually slow things down. But the dame works best, in my opinion, when she's working fast, the gags are hitting out, you're getting the laughs, and then you're gone, because you're not giving anybody in the audience chance to get bored or let the energy flow. And like I said about the dame leading the show, she has to do that energy-wise. So the get on, get off. Everything has to make sense. A dame's opening spot has to relate to the story, and it almost should be a story. It should introduce the character. It should make the audience aware of what type of interaction they can be prepared for, what type of material the dame will be delivering, and it has to justify why there is a man in a dress on stage. I don't think the dames can assume that because we're traditional, the audience will just accept that we're there. A lot of the drag performers are very good at comedy, and they look fantastic in the costumes, but to me, they miss out on the heart of the dame, which is the fact that the dame is not a female impersonator. The dame is still a man playing a woman. On top of that, I think the lack of female principal boys is a threat to the dame, because we've lost the female principal boy because people say they're uncomfortable, but then at some point that will affect the dame, because a lot of the dame's material is about finding men attractive. And I think having a female principal boy and a dame, they balance each other out. I think that's why in Cinderella you have 2 men dressed as women, and traditionally you have 2 women dressed as men, because that's a balance. And actually when you see bills that just have a dame, I think that again, it makes the dame's role harder to justify.